Good morning. It's just gone 6:30. I've just been outside doing my Ganesh mantra, which I've been doing for 521 days without a break. And just being able to say that feels pretty good. And you can tell it's pretty early by the light levels, can't you? So I'm making this film for rather a strange reason, because I'm celebrating the fact that I woke up this morning and I don't feel like shit. That's pretty weird, isn't it? So it's not that I'm celebrating the presence of something, I'm actually celebrating the absence of something, which is why I thought I'd never make this film. And there goes the vehicle, it's the first one of the day. We can see the sun's just starting to show itself above the chimney tops. Just walking past the raspberries, taking a look in the polytunnel, which is looking even more vibrant than it did before, which it seems to do every day these days. Full of life, full of gorgeous leaves and fruits and flowers. So what is this about? So here I am, and I don't feel like shit. And the reason I'm making this film is because I cannot actually remember at all the last time I felt like this. It's an absence of a feeling, not the presence of a feeling, which is what I'm celebrating. And I'll be honest with you, it's not ever made any difference whatever I've done or whatever I've not done. Just for so long, I've absolutely no idea how long. This has been my experience. I wake up, I feel like shit, and I move around and I gradually get over it. I'm just spotting these giant tomatoes there. They look pretty extraordinary. I have to pick them shortly. So there is clearly a reason for this, and it's because 2 weeks ago my son-in-law sent me a link on WhatsApp, and I opened the link, having no idea that doing that would change my life. But that's exactly what's happened, and it's changed my life in such a fundamental, irreversible manner that I'm in a state of unalloyed delight, enjoyment, pleasure and appreciation at being alive. And all sorts of consequences have followed on from this. So one of the things that I've needed to do just to deal with how I feel, how I used to feel. Oh, that's a very important point to make. To deal with how I used to feel, what I've needed to do is I've needed to, at some point in the day, usually in the evening, sometimes I could put this off for a few days, maybe even longer, but there'd come a point when the emotional and physical pain would become so acute and extreme, I would need to do something just to help me cope with it. And that's no longer the case. And it's all because my son-in-law sent me a link. And it was an invitation to do something called PTSD, Time to Heal. And this extraordinary, very short book is written by a woman called Kathy O'Brien. And in this book she details exactly what the man who rescued her from her lifetime of nightmare of hell recommended that she do. Now it's a strange thing because PTSD is very well known, and one of the origins of this is officially denied, and this makes for a circumstance whereby healing is thus denied to that person. But this is a breakthrough and a breakaway and a break beyond all of that. So it's deceptively simple, and yet it works. So when people have a lot of trauma, many traumas, and it eventually comes to the surface, they feel a burning need to do something about it. It was completely obvious and logical, isn't it? What is there, as I'm saying, that is surprising? Nothing at all. So, like so many, that's been my situation, this burning desire to do something about it. And one of the things I've done, but I've never done in any detail, just in general terms, I've shared about it. So I've shared, but not in any detail. Just captivated by the beauty of these roses with the beauty of the clouds behind them. So this is what I've been doing. I began this practice 10 days ago. So 2 weeks ago, got the link. 10 days ago, I started to practice. And this is what I do. What I do is I sit down each day and I write. And I write in as much detail as possible all that I can remember about all the trauma. So I started this process 10 days ago, and 5 days ago I'd reached a point where I realised that, hey, you're doing good, but there's another level to reach. I knew I needed to go even deeper still, and so I made use of a very powerful shamanic practice, which I've actually got to film up. 2 films. I've got Body Consciousness Process 1 and Body Consciousness Process 2 in my UT Shaman back catalogue. They're both tucked away in there. And now I am utterly fascinated by this apple tree. And you can see there's right in the centre of the image, there's a leaf there. And can you see it's wobbling? It's just wobbling backwards and forwards. In the tiny breezes. And I'm showing you this because this is one of the wonderful effects of feeling how I feel now, because I don't feel any agony. I don't feel agony at all. Not physical, not emotional. And it's so utterly wonderful. So I simply write it all out, and I use a pen and I write on paper. This is not done on a device. Pen and paper, write it out. When I've written it out, what I do is I put it away and I don't look at it. So 5 days ago, hard to believe, but 5 days ago, this is what I did. Only this time, apart from all the normal things I would do to prepare myself for writing, such as lighting a candle, invoking my guides and helpers, and all the obvious things a shaman would do, I did the body consciousness process as well. And the floodgates opened and it all poured out. Everything I had not been able to write poured out. And it became a writing frenzy. It's the only word I can use to describe it. Totally beyond any sense of control. It's just happening, and that's that. And then I got to a point I knew I'd finished. I'm done. Put it all away in a cardboard envelope, sealed it up, put a date on it. I'm not going to open that until the 9th of September. And then I will know what to do with it. But at the moment, it's gone. And that feels so good. So I am actually going to stop this film at this point. The next film I'm going to make, I'm going to actually let you know what happens after that point. What happened late that evening and what happened that night. That will have to be part 2, because it's time to give my arms a rest from holding the camera and looking up at the beautiful herringbone sky at about 6:40 a.m. on Wednesday, the 23rd of August 2023. I like that. 23/8/23 sounds good, doesn't it? 23/8/23. All the love to you, and thank you for watching. And I appreciate any comments you choose to share. Much love.